Bilbo Baggins, was it a huge role for you to take on? I mean, it's a long way from Tim in The Office.
Yes, to both those things, it is a long way, and it's a big role, you know. But without sounding disingenuous about it, if you take on anything, whether it's a play or a film, you know, it's all a big role. Your job is always the same: to be believable in that role and to sort of to play that role as well as you possibly can. It's slightly different when the world is watching. Do you know what I mean? But not in the doing of it. It's not different. And Pete's very good at making you feel like you're just making a film. It's not like we're all patting ourselves on the back on day 3 of filming, thinking we're in the Hobbit. You know, it's like if you did that, it's suicide. You know, so you have to attend to details and you have to kind of come correct and bring your best stuff. So I mean, for the reaction of it and how people receive it is nothing to do with me, and I can't change it. You know, I'd love to drug everyone and say, you must think I'm brilliant or whatever, or it really works. But how it's received now is completely up to everyone else. But I know doing it, I try to do my best to sort, in a way, get out of the way and let the story be the king of it. You know.
Are the three of you nervous about, because, you know, the world premieres tomorrow, people haven't seen it yet. Sir Peter said he can't wait for people to see it. He's sick of bashing people over the head with The Hobbit. Do you feel sort of similarly that you just want it to be out there in front of audiences, or is it a nervous time?
When we watched it for the first time on Sunday, there were so many moments where I wanted to applaud, and I just knew that in a house full of people that really are waiting for this film, those moments will happen. You know, the new format, the new sound that's been created for this film, I'm fascinated to hear it. So it's going to be a party, I think, tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
You are the Dwarf Prince, yet you're over 6 foot tall. Could you share a little bit of the magic with us about how that is achieved?
Well, interestingly, talking about you know, the fear of taking on a role like this, I felt like that this character were big shoes to fill. They literally were big shoes to fill, and weirdly enough, we had to get bigger in order to get smaller. So our bodies were made bigger so that when the digital magic makes us smaller, we didn't look like children. We looked like kind of fearsome, bulky warriors, heavy. So that was very much part of the process for me, is kind of living life in that state, and, you know, from a lower perspective, but from a warrior.
I'm sure Andy can tell you a little bit about this, but a role like this with Lord of the Rings, I'm sure it sort of changes your life in a way. You two standing on the cusp of that now.
Do you know what? Actually, filming the thing changed my life. Actually, even if there was no film at the end of it, my life has changed. You know,
How?
You don't think...
That's a good point.
Just coming to New Zealand, experiencing this place, you know, meeting all these amazing people, making friends, being part of this family. So
But also, I think as actors, your life changes every single job that you do, because you're putting yourself under a microscope and receiving and giving, you know, through different texts, different philosophies, different ways of thinking. You know, you can't go back. You know, you're affected every single job you do by that.
True, yeah.
You did go back to Gollum. What was it like reprising, awakening Gollum again?
Yeah, he's never really left me. I mean, he's sort of always been sort of lurking underneath my skin, and I'm constantly reminded on a daily basis about Gollum. He really, genuinely hasn't ever left me. But it was great to play it again, and particularly this scene. I was very much looking forward to work with Martin. Always have done. I've always admired Martin's acting, and it was a thrilling opportunity, and I really loved it.
You were also a second unit director.
Yeah,
Can you just talk me through what that involves? Because I understand it's a pretty big deal.
It is a pretty big deal. Yeah, I mean, we shot for 200 days, and you know, my job was to be Peter's eyes and ears and film with his sensibility. And we shot everything from drama to battle sequences and aerials, and you know, I mean, it's a pretty big affair with a big crew and lots of technical things to challenge you. It was great.
Beautiful
Loved it.
New Zealand.
In beautiful. 100% New Zealand.
And it was as much fun going on to second unit to work with Andy as it was being on main unit, which isn't always the case. Sometimes second unit is, you know, just picking up bits and pieces, but you know, when you knew you were on second unit, it was a good day.
True, yeah, true.